A deadly hurricane.
New SLU logo.
First-year student applications are live.
Blues take the lead.
Plus national news and weather. Live from the Busch Student Center, this is SLU News 22.
Good evening. I'm Emily Borah.
And I'm Tim Cady.
Thank you for joining us this evening. Investigators are searching for the cause of the catastrophic disaster in the Sinai Peninsula of Egypt that resulted in deaths of all 224 people aboard Metro Flight 9268 on October 31st. Investigators are exploring all scenarios that could have possibly caused the crash. Terrorism has not been ruled out of the question, nor has mechanical failure. The plane was en route to St. Petersburg, Russia, and the majority of the passengers were Russian. Russia's increased military presence in Syria and the Middle East to combat ISIS have led to suspicions that the crash may have been a result of terrorism. One Egyptian man has claimed responsibility for the crash, but officials from Russia and Egypt have yet to make an official statement about the claim. As of today, the investigation is still ongoing.
Catalonia's regional parliament has voted to secede from Spain by 2017. The Barcelona-based government voted 72 to 63 in favor of the measure amidst assertions from the Spanish federal government that the plan was in violation of the national constitution. Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy reacted to the vote quickly with a nationally broadcast speech stating his intentions to stop the secession movement, stating that, quote, Catalonia is not going anywhere, end quote. While support for an independence referendum is high within the autonomous community of over 7 million, residents are split over the issue of actually seceding from Spain.
Chief Meteorologist Bobby Stilwell is in the Weather Center with our first forecast. Bobby, what's it look like out there today?
It's looking really interesting out there right now. A lot of stuff's going to happen later on in the week, but a lot of that stuff's going to happen later in the week. So right now we're focusing on what's happening right now here. 50s for the most part across the area right now. What I'm focusing on though right now is this area of 54 and 55 over here in the Missouri side. That's actually really interesting. And I'm curious, why is that happening? It's probably because of the asphalt, all the asphalt over there in these cities, even though they're suburban. And Vesta's right there at 55. How appropriate. It's along Interstate 55. So it's at 55 degrees right now. Tonight we're getting down to 37 here downtown. Clear skies, winds west-southwest at 5, although out in the suburbs it would not surprise me if those wind chills and maybe even the temperatures dropped to near or below freezing. So anywhere in the area you want to have a coat out if you're out tonight. Definitely a very cold night. Weather story, we're going to start off mild this week, but there is a cold front that is going to bring some storms Wednesday. And these could be producing some wind damage. So something we're keeping our eye on here at SLU News 22. And that cold front also is going to be making our temperatures very, very cool into the week and weekend. I'll have my full forecast with some info about that in the next few minutes. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Bobby. At least 6 are dead after a hurricane hit Yemen's Socotra Island on Sunday. Most have died as a result of building collapses. Over 5,000 are displaced as their homes were destroyed along the island's coast. An official account of the damage is still unavailable at this time. The damage is expected to be worse than last week's cyclone that hit near the island because the most recent hurricane passed over the island.
A small child and unrelated adult are the sole survivors of a plane crash near Juba, South Sudan on November 4th. 37 perished in the crash. The cause is believed to be overloading. The plane was flying from Juba, the South Sudanese capital, to the northern city of Palaok. The journey is dangerous by land due to the ongoing civil war, and there is no commercial flight between the two cities, leaving cargo pilots to sell seats on cargo planes. The plane's manifest listed the cargo as the maximum level.
Coming up next, your SLU area news. Stay with us. Welcome back. After a devastatingly critical World Anti-Doping Agency report, Russia could be banned from next year's Olympics in Rio de Janeiro. The agency accused the country's government of complicity in widespread doping and cover-ups by its track and field athletics. The Internal Association of Athletic Federations responded immediately, saying it will consider sanctions against Russia, including a possible suspension of the National Athletics Federation that would ban Russian track and field athletes from international competition, including the Olympics. The investigating panel also said it does not believe that the doping problem is limited to athletics or to Russian sports. Commissioner Chair Dick Pound singled out Kenya as well, saying it seems that the East African powerhouse of long-distance running, quote, has a real problem, end quote.
Every day this week from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the Busch Student Center, members of the St. Louis University Student Athlete Advisory Committee will encourage people to sign the It's On Us pledge. The It's On Us campaign was launched by President Obama last year to help end sexual assault on college campuses. It's On Us asks everyone, men and women, across the United States to make a personal commitment to step off the sidelines and be part of the solution to end campus sexual assault. If you want to help make campus sexual assault history, stop by the table in the BSC and sign the online pledge.
St. Louis University will be revealing a new logo this Friday, November 13th at 4 p.m. at Chaffetz Arena. The university has designed a new Billiken and fleur-de-lis. These were last updated about 20 years ago. Everyone at the event will receive free merchandise and Billiken cookies. In addition, SLU's bookstore in the Busch Student Center will host a reveal party for the new SLU logos from 5 to 7 p.m. on November 13th, with many new clothing and giftware options for sale. There will be free Papa John's pizza and raffles for new merchandise every 15 minutes.
Do you want to help first-year students? Applications are now live on SLU Groups to become a first-year experienced leader. Attend one of the upcoming information sessions either Wednesday, November 11th at 5:30 p.m. in BSC 253 or on Thursday the 12th at 5:30 p.m. in BSC 254. Applications are due on January 15th, and all questions should be directed to Jordan Glasser at jmglasser@slu.edu.
The U.S. men's national team will play its first home match of 2018 FIFA World Cup qualifying games at Busch Stadium on Friday, November 13th. They will play against St. Vincent and the Grenades. Tickets can still be purchased at stlouis.cardinals.mlb.com.
Adele has come back with topping the Billboard 100 chart at number 1 for her single Hello. Justin Bieber's Sorry is number 2, replacing Drake's Hotline Bling, which has dropped to number 3. The former reigning number 1 hit, The Hills by The Weeknd, has dropped down to number 4.
This weekend's big box office winners include Spectre and the Peanuts movie, holding the number 1 and number 2 slots. Spectre grossed $73 million and the Peanuts movie grossed $45 million. This weekend's biggest loser was Crimson Peak, only grossing $1.1 million.
Donald Trump's Saturday Night Live episode had the highest viewership of the series since 2012. Trump's episode was 40% higher in viewership than Hillary Clinton's. The controversial presidential candidate's parody sketch of Drake's Hotline Bling went viral, while his opening monologue poked fun at himself and his rival Rosie O'Donnell, and we even saw a cameo with comedian Larry David.
The Swiss company Tag Heuer released the first smartwatch running Android Wear named Connected Watch. The luxury smartwatch costs $1,500, making it the most expensive watch in the Android market. The Connected Watch features Intel processing power and a touchscreen covered in sapphire crystal. The watch releases to the US and Canada on November 10th and internationally next month.
This holiday season, red cups at Starbucks have stirred up critics who accuse the company of waging a war on Christmas. Starbucks removed its previous design, which included a reindeer and ornaments, and instead they went with a simple two-toned red cup. When the cups came out last week, Starbucks Vice President Jeffrey Field said the company, quote, "want to usher in the holidays with a purity of design that welcomes all of our stories," end quote. Joshua Feuerstein, a former pastor and now social media personality, posted a video to Facebook on November 5th that went viral. Feuerstein criticizes Starbucks for removing, quote, "Christmas from their cups because they hate Jesus," end quote. He also encouraged customers to say Merry Christmas instead of their names in order to trick baristas into writing the phrase on the cup. He said to use hashtag Merry Christmas Starbucks and post photos online.
Coming up next week, your work week forecast. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Meteorologist Bobby Stilwell is here with us now for your extended forecast. Bobby, are these cold temps here to stay?
Not for the beginning of the week. There is a cold front, though. It's going to be bringing those colder temperatures back to us at the end of the week. You know, a lot of memes go around about St. Louis's weather being crazy like it is, and I think those memes are going to be resurfacing quite a bit this week. Right now, though, we are sitting at 52 beautiful degrees, clear skies. That dew point of 33 is giving us a humidity of 49%, and that probably explains why I have not been able to walk around today without getting shocked by metal doorknobs. Winds are light, pressure is 30.16 inches, and that is because of this high pressure system that is just to our south. That high pressure system, we're getting the blast from it directly. And that's why we've got, you know, as you can see on the left and right of me, we have clear skies all across the area. The warmest temperatures right now, though, by far are down the Kansas-Oklahoma border, and that's where they're seeing 60s even now. Nationwide, there is some stuff over here on the east coast, some showers down there in the southeast part, but that's not what we're watching. We are watching that cold front that I've been talking about nonstop today that's pushing. Right now it's draped from Saskatchewan, Canada, all the way down into Los Angeles. And as that pushes towards St. Louis through the week ahead, we're going to be seeing some storms fire up with the possibility of wind damage. And the side effect of that cold front, though, is colder temperatures into the end of the week and into the weekend as well. Tonight we're getting down to 37 degrees, clear skies, winds light, although, again, in the suburbs, it wouldn't surprise me if those wind chills dipped below freezing. So anywhere in the area, you want to have a coat tonight if you're going to be out and about. Tomorrow we're getting up to 58 degrees, clear skies once again. Those winds are going to shift and blow harder. We are going to shift the winds from west-southwest to south-southwest, and the winds are going to increase in speed to 10 to 15 miles per hour. Again, you need a jacket or a coat if you're going to be out and about. And now a look at the 5-day forecast shows those storms on Wednesday. Prime time for those storms right now is going to be 6 p.m. to midnight. And then you can see the cold front pushing through. And Friday we get down to 48 during the day and 34 overnight. It's really looking to be a cold weekend and one where those memes about St. Louis's crazy weather, all 4 seasons in 1 week, yep, those are going to be resurfacing all over social media this week. So you're going to get a few laughs about the weather, just like I am right now.
Thanks, Bobby. Up next, a look into the world of sports and entertainment. Welcome back. SLU-TV field correspondent Heather Padilla sat down with Emily Crawford of SLU Theater to talk about their upcoming production on campus.
My name is Heather Padilla, and today I'm here with Emily Crawford, a cast member from St. Louis University Theater's production, Crimes of the Heart, directed by Nancy Bell. Hi, Emily.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm good. Glad to be here.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about the production, what we could expect if we go see it?
Well, Crimes of the Heart, it mainly centers around these 3 sisters, Lenny, Meg, and Babe, and each of them is kind of going through their own crisis at the moment, and it's like a Southern Gothic play, kind of a black comedy at times, just dealing with what they're going through and like how they're dealing with it.
Okay, great. So what character do you play?
I play Chick, who is their meddling cousin who lives next door, and I always am trying to control everything and all the people around me, and I'm kind of like, I grew up a Southern Baptist, so I'm basically every lady I ever went to church with.
Not funny. That sounds like a fun character.
Yeah, yeah, she's fun.
So what has been the most interesting part of the rehearsal process?
Probably learning the dialect, because it's in a small town in Mississippi, which is kind of similar to the Arkansan dialect that I'm used to from back home, but there are some minor differences, so that's always a really interesting and fun part of the rehearsal process for me when we have to learn dialects.
Sounds good. And just for a funny question, who is the funniest member of your cast?
Probably Andy. He plays Doc Porter, just because, I don't know, he's always cracking jokes, and yeah.
Well, it sounds like it'll be a great time. When can we go see it?
Okay, it's going to be playing this weekend and next weekend. This weekend it's Friday and Saturday at 8 p.m. Next weekend, Friday and Saturday at 8 p.m. and Sunday at 2 p.m.
All right. Well, that sounds great. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Of course.
Go out and see the show.
Ryan in the Sports Center with your weekly Sportscast.
This past week, the Blues overcame a first-period deficit of 5-2 against the Chicago Blackhawks. Within the first 2 minutes, the Blackhawks got on the board. 56 seconds later, Steen deflected a shot into the back of the Blackhawk net, tying it up. 90 seconds later, the Blackhawks scored off of a penalty shot. 2 minutes then, after that, the Blackhawks scored again, making it 3-1. Once that happened, Ken Hitchcock pulled starting goalie Brian Elliott so he could get his head on straight. Jake Allen and Brian Elliott switched later in the period during a media timeout. The period ended 5-2. The Blues tied it up 5-5 in the second period, and then the third period went scoreless. In the 3-on-3 overtime, Vladimir Tarasenko shot from the high slot to win it for the Blues. Tarasenko is now at 7 goals for the season. Robbie Febvre, a 19-year-old out of Mississauga, Canada, made the Blues roster yesterday for the rest of the season. General Manager Doug Armstrong delivered the news to Fabry on their flight home from a 4-0 victory against the Nashville Predators. Fabry has missed 6 games this season because of a concussion, but in his 8 games played, he has 2 goals and 1 assist. The Rams lost a close competition on Sunday in Minneapolis against the Vikings in overtime. The Vikings scored on a 40-yard field goal attempt with 9 minutes left in overtime. The Vikings held on to their lead to win. The Rams are now 4-4 and second in the NFC Western Division. Billikens men's soccer begin the Atlantic 10 tournament at George Mason Stadium in Fairfax, Virginia on Thursday. In the first round, they compete against Rhode Island to see who goes to the semifinal game. The Billikens are the 3rd seed in the tournament. Ahead of them is the number 1 seed George Washington and the number 2 seed Dayton. Billikens women's volleyball has 1 more game left in their regular season schedule. They play the Dayton Flyers this Saturday before they start their Atlantic 10 tournament in Washington, D.C. at George Washington University. This coming week's results will decide the seeding for the tournament. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Monica. This week held National Sandwich Day, so SLU-TV hit the streets to see how SLU students like their sandwiches.
Hi, this is Monica Ryan from SLU News 22. November 3rd is National Sandwich Day, so we're going to go find out what types of sandwiches SLU students prefer. What's your favorite sandwich?
My favorite sandwich would have to be a turkey on white.
Frontego chicken panini from Panera.
Tuna.
Roast beef on white.
My favorite sandwich is a classic peanut butter and jelly on wheat with the crust cut off.
Meatball sub.
Well, I think that Subway makes a pretty swell Black Forest ham sub.
Turkey and provolone cheese. It has to be grilled cheese.
I'm actually a big fan of peanut butter and turkey on toasted wheat bread with the crust on.
The Italian nightclub from Jimmy John's with no tomatoes.
Does turkey bagel count? Okay, turkey bagel. I'd have to say it's the black bean patty at Which restaurant in the Loop.
Nutella and peanut butter.
Chicken and bacon ranch on Italian urban cheese.
It's the Vietnamese banh mi.
I'm definitely a fan of toasted white bread with peanut butter and bananas.
BLT, bacon, lettuce, tomato! Woo!
Thanks, Monica. So, Bobby, are those storms going to hit us on Wednesday?
Yes, storms Wednesday, and the best time for them that I'm looking at right now is 6 p.m. to midnight. That's when we're looking right now. And you can see the clouds are going to linger a little bit into Wednesday, but we're going to clear back up. That cold front, though, is really going to be dropping our temperatures down. You can see we get to 34 overnight Friday. you definitely are going to want to have your heat on or have a coat if you go out. It's really brutal this week. Now, I know there's nothing around SLU sports-wise that needs to worry about this, right?
Right, but the FIFA game being played at the Busch Stadium, it'll probably be pretty chilly for those guys. So hopefully if you're going to that game, make sure you wear Under Armour, bring a jacket, a blanket, whatever you need to do.
That, and I think I saw something where, the men's team are out in Virginia right now.
Yeah, so
They probably have showers then.
yeah, they'll probably be a little bit rained on, but nothing they can't play through.
That's true.
Well, that's our show for tonight. Thank you all for watching.
Don't forget, you can always get the latest movie reviews and news online at slutv.slu.edu or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We'll be back here next week at 6 p.m. Thanks for watching.